everyone, welcome back to, you guessed it, another video. So the prediction video will continue here. This time we will be focusing on the Central Division. And as you can see in the background, there's no 8th team jersey hanging up over there. There's no 8th team in this division yet. So we have Nashville Predators at number 1, Jets number 2, Blues at number 3, Stars at 4, the Avalanche at 5, the Blackhawks at 6, and the Wild at 7, respectively, from their standings last year from the regular season. Alright, so this division I did not do very good on last year. Not with necessarily the teams that made the playoffs. Everyone I predicted to make the playoffs did. I only picked 3 teams, though, to make the playoffs. I thought this was going to be the weakest division. I was wrong. It was the strongest. I think 5 teams made the division, or made the playoffs, rather, last year. From Nashville all the way to the Avalanche. They were all in, and man, I was wrong. I thought the Pacific Division was definitely going to be the strongest one. And I picked 5 teams to make the playoffs from that one, and only 3 made it, so not too bad. Just wrong divisions. Oh well. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to say this is completely my own opinion. I'm a dumbass. I'm just down here in my basement killing time till my girlfriend gets home. If you don't like what my predictions are, don't watch it. I'm not really going to give a fuck. Now, it's completely, like I said, my own opinion. So, and let's face it, I'm going to be wrong probably on 90% of this. 95%, even more. 99% of this I'm going to be wrong on. So, alright, so I'm just going to put up the standings that I predicted last year. That way you don't have to go back and watch that atrocious video again. This is what I picked, and I was pretty wrong. Not too bad with the top 2 teams. I kind of figured that was how it was going to be. I don't think it'll end up quite being that way this year. So yeah, I thought the Blues were going to be dead last, and they were looking good. I was freaking out over my prediction. I'm like, man, I'm terrible. They're all wrong, except the Blues. They're making me happy. They're making me look good here. They're at number 7, and I picked them to finish last, so I was looking pretty good. I'm like, man, at least I got one team right. That didn't work out for me either, so my whole predictions pretty much just sucked. So pretty much what I'm saying is whoever's number 7 in this division that I pick, you're going to win the Stanley Cup, so there's that. Alright, so at number 7, I'm taking the Minnesota Wild. You're welcome. That means you guys are probably going to win the Stanley Cup now. All kidding aside, I just really don't see a lot. They finished 7th last year in the standings at the bottom of the division. I think they're probably bound to repeat it this year. I don't think they've really done anything to inspire confidence in me to say that they'll make the playoffs. I love Matt Zuccarello, but I don't think he can save the team. I just don't really see a whole lot coming from them. I'll look good in this jersey. I absolutely love this jersey, but they don't even wear that anymore, so I don't know what to say. Minnesota, sorry, I'm taking you to finish last. Alright, number 6, the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, I'm very well could be wrong about this one as well, most likely. I don't really see them having improved that much. I don't know if Patrick Kane can have another fantastic year like that. I hope he does. I really like Kane. Taves has even looked a little bit better last year than I've seen him look in quite a while, but it still wasn't enough. Their depth, I don't think, is quite where it needs to be. Bringing back players like Andrew Shaw and everyone like that, signing Chris Versteeg to a PTO, I don't think is going to help your problem. I really like Olli Mata. I definitely want to get a new Olli Mata Chicago jersey with the new collar and everything. I just don't know if that's going to really do it, though. Their goaltending definitely could be improved if Robin Lehner is able to continue what he did last year. But even that's a mystery. He had one fantastic year. So if he can kind of keep that up and keep on the same road that he is, Chicago could really prove me wrong. But as of right now, I just don't see it. Sorry to disappoint you Chicago fans, but you guys are going to have some nice looking jerseys this year at least. The color is much better. Not perfect, but much better. So I'll definitely be getting it. Because this division that I have up here, I don't have a lot of the new Adidas jerseys for. I only got, what, the 2? Yeah, so I need to kind of get working on that. Chicago and Dallas and the Avalanche I definitely have on my radar to get relatively soon. The Wild one, if I can find it with the right logo size, I'll definitely be getting that as well. And if I can track down the St. Louis Blues third jersey, I'll definitely have that. But as of right now, this division in my personal jersey collection is kind of looking a little weak as far as Adidas jerseys go. So at number 5, I'm taking the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know. Sorry, Jets fans. I just don't really see them doing that well this year. They've definitely lost quite a few pieces, and they didn't really seem to replace them. I mean, maybe internally they have the prospects that they hope will definitely fill that void. I don't really know what you guys got going on down there, so I don't really know. Having said that, though, depending on what Kyle Connor and Patrick Laine end up doing, if they sit for an extended period of time, that could really affect them. I love Mark Scheifele. I think he's one of the top 5 best players in the NHL, to be completely honest. And Blake Wheeler is a great captain. Depending on how long maybe Dustin Byfuglien's out, there's definitely a lot of questions in Winnipeg. I just don't see them making the playoffs if they kind of don't address some of this right away. But now that I said that, they'll probably win the division. So there you go, Jets fans. That's something. All right, so at number 4, I'm taking the St. Louis Blues. They just went on an incredible run and won themselves their first Stanley Cup since they came into the league in 1967. They have beautiful looking jerseys, and that's pretty much kind of where I'm stuck at with them. They're going to be tired from a long playoff run. I don't think they'll be tired enough to miss the playoffs. I think they'll make it back in. I picked them to finish last year, and they definitely proved me wrong, so I'm not going to really bet against them right now. Having said that, though, I don't know if they'll be able to repeat what they did. I definitely want to get their new commemorative jersey that they put out. That thing's a piece of art. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to watch the Blues again this year. They have a lot of great players that I really like. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm taking them to make the playoffs, but just sneaking in. All right, so at number 3, I have the Nashville Predators, who won the division last year. I think they'll still have a really, really good, solid year. I just don't know if they'll quite win the division like they did last year. I think there's some teams kind of on the rise from last year that might be able to give them a little bit of a run for their money. PK Subban's gone, so they're obviously confident that they won't need him, but it will definitely leave a little bit of a hole on the blue line. Health is definitely always a concern with them. What Pekka Rinne is able to kind of drag them to the playoffs. How will Matt Duchene fit in as well? So there's a lot of questions in Nashville, and I think they'll have a very good season. I'm really interested to see what they actually end up doing. They're definitely not missing the playoffs, at least in my opinion, but they definitely won't win the division, I don't think. But either way, they'll end up looking really good this year at the Winter Classic, and I can't wait to see what that jersey looks like. This always comes back to jerseys for me, so yeah. All right, moving on, number 2. All right, so at number 2, number 1 and number 2 can completely backfire on me and both miss the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. I just have that kind of luck. But I'm taking the Dallas Stars to finish number 2. They finished in number 4 last year, and they had a really good year. 3 big reasons I think they'll finish number 2 this year. Ben Bishop, if he can stay healthy, that's a big if, but he has a great backup in Anton Khudobin. Miro Heiskanen, I think, is probably one of my favorite young defensemen in the game right now, and I really think he's just going to get better and better, and he might end up being like an Erik Karlsson or a Nick Lidstrom. That's huge and unfair to say about someone so young and in the NHL, but I really, really see a bright future for him as well, and Joe Pavelski, I think, is phenomenal, and I don't think he's quite done yet. I don't know if he'll quite get the same goals he did last season. He had a really good year. But man, the leadership that man brings to that dressing room, I'm sure, will be unmeasurable. It's just going to be absolutely phenomenal to get him in the room. Radulov, Benn, and Seguin, if they can kind of be pushed and get better and better, I think this team is just scary. John Klingberg on the defense as well. He's no slouch. They do have a really solid D-core. I think they have decent coaching, and yeah, I really think the Stars are going to make some noise this year. At least I hope so. I do really like the Stars. But yeah, I definitely need to be adding a Miro Heiskanen jersey into my collection. Whether it's the white one or the green one, I don't really care. Whichever one I can find with the bigger size logo is the one I'm going with. And I think they will, like the Nashville Predators, look really sweet in the Winter Classic coming up as well. But yeah, moving on, number 1. All right, and at number 1, Colorado Avalanche. I went back and forth quite a bit on who I wanted to take as number 1. I ended up deciding on the Avalanche for a couple of reasons. Now, I think the Stars have a bit better of an advantage in the goaltending department. Philip Grubauer is phenomenal from last year. If he can kind of continue that, then the Avalanche should have no reason that they couldn't finish first. They have some absolute studs on the blue line, and Cale Makar is really impressed. He hasn't even played in the regular season yet, so we'll see how that goes. It could really kind of come down to him, I think. They have a couple other good defensemen as well. Girard, I really like him. The biggest reason, though, Nathan MacKinnon. He looked like he was a man on a mission last year. He wants to cement his legacy as one of the best players in the NHL, and he definitely took the right step last year. I think it's going to be kind of up to him to just put the team on his back and just carry him to the Stanley Cup. maybe not that far, but at least carry him to the division win this year. And I really have high hopes for Nathan MacKinnon this year. They added people like Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, who's probably is my favorite player in the NHL. So a little bit biased towards there, but I think he'll fit in perfectly on the bottom six. Same with Jonas Donskoy. I absolutely love him. Those are probably my top 2 favorite players in the NHL. So I'm really rooting for them. And Nazem Kadri, you can't really discount what he'll bring to the team. Good or bad, he's going to bring something to the team. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm probably going to be wrong on all these, so don't get don't get sand in your vagina is what I'm saying. But up next, I will switch over to the Eastern Conference, and we'll continue on with that. So if you guys want, you can check me out on Instagram as well. I'll leave a link to that in the description as always, and I will see you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.